is we have to determine boiling point of water. Okay, what is boiling point of water?
100 degrees
Temperature at
Celsius.
which, okay, that is 100 degrees Celsius. How we can define the temperature at which water changes to steam or water changes to vapor? So at the temperature at the standard pressure. So the temperature at which, just a second. Okay. So temperature at which water changes to its vapor state. At standard pressure, the temperature is called as boiling point of water. So what we are going to do, we will require water. We have to boil it as well. So we take one round bottom flask. Okay, flask we have taken what kind of round bottom. Okay. Now since we have to heat it, we'll put it on wire mesh so that heat is uniformly transferred. Wire mesh, and it will be put on a tripod stand to provide the support. Okay. Now we'll require burner so that we can heat it. So a Bunsen burner will be required. This is our Bunsen burner. Okay. Now to support it, we require stand. Okay. Now what more will require? We'll require water. So 1/3 of the round bottom flask we have filled with water. This is our water. Okay. And we require thermometer. Thermometer is required. Thermometer we have placed. So how we have placed thermometer? We took one cork, made two holes. Okay. Through one hole we inserted thermometer. Through other hole we will let the steam out. So we have L-shaped tube we have inserted, and through this steam, whatever steam is formed, that can be released. Okay. Or else if we do not use that one, what will happen? Pressure will build and it will break. So that's why we have used an outlet for the steam to release. This is called as, like you have pressure valve in your city cooker, that is to release pressure. Okay. Now see here, this is touching water. Okay. Now see here what we did. We started to boil the water. Okay. We started the Bunsen burner and heat started to get transferred to water. So what we initially see, that temperature is increasing. For example, water we have to get at normal, that is 36 degrees Celsius. So temperature is increasing 36, 37, 40, 45, 40, 90. It is continuously increasing. We are checking it is increasing. Okay. As the temperature reaches 100 degrees Celsius. Now 100 degrees Celsius, as the temperature reaches 100 degrees, we see vapors rising. Okay. Water starts to boil. Okay. At 100 degrees Celsius, water starts to boil, and what you see in thermometer, the temperature is stuck at 100 degrees Celsius. It is stuck at 100 degrees. The temperature is not changing now. It is constant at 100 degrees Celsius, stuck at 100 degrees Celsius. And water, steam comes out. Okay, steam is being released. Okay, till whole water is not converted into steam, the temperature remains at 100 degrees Celsius. Till whole water does not convert into steam, it will, the temperature is stuck at 100 degrees Celsius. So what is 100 degrees Celsius? It's the temperature at which water get converted into steam. That is, phase change take place. Understood this one? Okay, for 1 minute, go through the activity 7. Read all the lines. If you got any doubt, do ask. Read it once. Any point, any word, if you haven't understood, just go through it. Any doubt in that? So what we are observing at 100 degrees Celsius, that temperature becomes constant at 100 degrees Celsius. At 100, that 100 degrees Celsius is the boiling point of water. Okay, water converts into vapor at 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, now see here, boiling point of certain liquids are given in below. So which have more high boiling point, water or alcohol?
Water.
Water have
Water.
higher boiling point. So it is having how much? 100 degrees Celsius, whereas it is having 78.5
Five.
degrees Celsius.
Five.
Okay. Okay. Now ether, it has even less. It boils at
34.5 degrees.
5 degrees Celsius. So even at room temperature, ether will boil. It will get converted into its vapor state. Whereas mercury you can see how much?
357.
357 degrees Celsius. So that is the one of the main reason why mercury is being used in thermometer. Okay, why mercury has been used. Okay, if we use alcohol in thermometer, what will happen? Can we use alcohol thermometer to measure water boiling point of water? No,
No.
because it will convert into vapor at 78.5 degrees Celsius. Therefore, we cannot use thermometer liquid as alcohol for measuring boiling point of water. Okay, we require a liquid whose boiling point is more than water. So we have gone for mercury. Understood this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we'll be doing fill in the blanks. Checkpoint 2. Okay. First one, conversion of a solid into liquid at a constant temperature is known as
Melting point.
melting, or the other name
Fusion.
fusion. Okay, because so conversion of a solid into liquid at a constant temperature, that is, and that constant temperature is called as melting point. Okay, so answer will be melting or fusion. Second one, in dash process, a substance is converted from gaseous state to liquid state at a fixed temperature. Gaseous to liquid. What is that process?
Freezing.
Gaseous to liquid we are, not liquid to solid. Gas, gaseous state to its liquid state. It is called as condensation or liquefaction. Always remember, it is gaseous to liquid. It is condensation. Like you have read that dew condenses on leaves, water droplets condenses. The vapor has condensed into water droplets. Okay, condensation. So in condensation or liquefaction process, substance is converted from gaseous state to the liquid state. Okay, freezing point of water is,
0
you can put
degrees
over here,
Celsius.
0 degree Celsius. Freezing point is how much? 0 degree Celsius. Okay, so check again. A answer is melting or fusion. A answer is melting or fusion. B answer condensation or liquefaction. Any one a word you can use. Okay. C answer 0 degree Celsius. 0 you'll put there. Okay. How are boiling and condensation point of a substance related to? Boiling and condensation. So boiling is what? Liquid to gaseous state. And what is condensation? This is boiling. Condensation from gas to liquid. This is condensation. So how boiling point and condensation point are related? Okay, I take one example, water. Water boils at what degree Celsius? Boiling point of water.
100
degree
degrees
Celsius.
Celsius.
Okay, and water condense. Okay, and vapor condenses to water at what degree Celsius? Condensation, that is vapor to water.
100 degrees Celsius.
100 degrees Celsius, that is condensation temperature. That is condensation point. Okay, understood this one? So water boils into vapor at
Yes.
100 degrees Celsius. Okay, and vapor condenses to water at 100 degrees Celsius. So what was the difference? Difference of latent heat. Okay. So listen again. If we are having, okay, black I will use. Okay. If we are having water, okay, if it takes latent heat at 100 degrees Celsius, if we supply heat equal to latent heat, it will be converted into vapor at 100 degrees Celsius. Okay. Now, if vapor releases latent heat, 540 gram per calorie. If it releases latent heat, it will be converted into water at 100 degrees Celsius. So boiling point and condensation point, they are same. Okay. Or we can consider here one graph that is important, we will see. Okay. Okay. Tell me solid to liquid. At what point solid converts into liquid? That point is called as temperature.
Mm.
Which temperature? Solid to liquid?
Freezing.
It's freezing or solid to liquid it is.
Melting
Melting.
point.
Melting point.
Melting point or fusion point we can say. Okay, understood this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, liquid to solid.
Freezing.
It is freezing. Freezing or solid is
Melting
freezing.
point.
It is freezing point. Are they same? Are they
Yes,
same? Melting point and freezing point are same. Only the difference of latent heat. Only the difference of latent heat. Okay. So for water, while melting point is what? 0 degrees Celsius for water. For freezing point, 0 degrees Celsius. They are same. Okay. Then liquid to gas. What point?
Condensation.
Liquid to gas.
Vaporization point.
Vaporization or boiling point. Boiling point or vaporization point. Okay. Don't say condensation. It may give heart attacks to someone. So liquid to gas, boiling point. Liquid to gas, boiling point. Okay. And gas to liquid. Which point?
Condensation
It is condensation. Condensing. What is that vapor is condensing into liquid. Okay. It is condensation point or liquefaction point. Okay. Are they same? For example, we take water. Boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius. And here gas to liquid, condensation point also
100
same. 100 degrees Celsius. So for every substance, melting point and freezing point are same. Only the difference of latent heat. For every substance, boiling point and condensation point are same. Only the difference of latent heat. Okay. At 100 degrees Celsius, if vapor releases latent heat, okay, that is 540 calorie per gram, it will convert into water. Okay. At 100 degrees Celsius, if water takes latent heat equal to 540 gram per calorie, then it will convert into gas. Okay. So boiling point, condensation point, they are same. Melting point and freezing point, they are same. Is this clear? So how are boiling point and
Yes.
condensation point of a substance related to? How they are related?
They melt up. They boil and condense at the same temperatures.
Are the same temperature, or we can say they are equal. You can say they are same or equal. So boiling and condensation point of a substance are equal, or boiling point and condensation point of a substance are same. Understood this one? This is very important.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the boiling point of water at atmospheric pressure?
0 degrees Celsius.
Boiling point. You are giving me heart attack.
100 degrees Celsius.
Think and answer. Okay. Always think and answer. 100 degrees Celsius. Or these days we may have lung attack. Yes or no? Corona attack. Okay. So 100 degrees Celsius. Okay. So we have completed checkpoint 2. We'll start sublimation now. Okay. Sublimation. This we have seen mainly substances from solid to liquid. If we provide heat, solid will convert into liquid. We provide heat, it will convert into gas. So mainly what happens to the substance? First it converts into, from solid to, it converts into liquid, then to gaseous state. This is clear?
Yes.
Most of the substances, they convert from solid to liquid, liquid to gas. Okay. But there are certain substances which bypass this state. That is, they do not get converted into liquid state. Okay, they bypass it. And how they bypass? Like you bypass the city from solid to gas. They directly convert from solid to gas. That is, some heat we provide, this solid get converted into gaseous state. There is no liquid state. So it is called bypassing. By what we are bypassing? The liquid state. Okay. Solid get converted directly into gaseous state. Okay. And this phase change, this conversion is called as sublimation. Okay. So the sublimation is the process of transformation of substance from its solid state directly to its gaseous state. Directly to its gaseous state. It does not pass through liquid state. It does not pass through liquid state without passing through the immediate liquid, intermediate liquid state. So we have bypassed liquid state. We have bypassed liquid state. So substances, they directly convert from solid to gas. Okay, example, naphthalene balls you have seen at home.
Yes.
Kapoor ki goliyan we used to say. Naphtha, Naphthalene, naphthalene balls. Okay, you have seen those balls, they decrease in size, but no liquid formation. What happens? Slight bit heat, even slight bit heat they take, they convert into gaseous state. Okay, and why they are not passing into intermediate liquid state, that we'll discuss in kinetic theory. Okay, when we discuss the molecular theory, we'll discuss it. Okay, that is why they are passing from solid to gas directly. It will discuss in kinetic theory. Okay, little bit information I provided now. So see here what happens. For example, this is our naphthalene ball. Okay, something like this it is. Okay, what will happen? It will take heat. As heat is given, the molecules are there of the naphthalene balls. Now see here what is there. Molecules, between them, what is the force? Intermolecular force. This intermolecular force between the molecules is very weak. Very weak. That means even a small amount of heat it takes, the molecules kinetic energy increases and they break away. They break away. They directly convert into vapor phase, gaseous phase. Okay, that means this intermolecular force is very weak. Intermolecular forces are very weak. So even a small amount of heat it takes, the molecules break away. They become free and they convert into gaseous state. This is the reason we'll discuss in more in kinetic theory, okay, molecular theory. So what more other substances are there which follow, which undergo sublimation? This is there, ammonium chloride.
Dry ice.
Any more? Okay, dry ice we'll discuss. Camphor. Okay, dry ice. This is very important. Dry ice is very important. Okay, dry ice. So ice can be dry, but it's not water. This dry ice is not made from water. It is made from carbon dioxide. It is, dry ice is nothing but solid carbon dioxide. Okay, it is. So we have cooled carbon dioxide to a temperature, it becomes solid. Okay, now when carbon dioxide becomes solid, it resembles ice. it resembles ice. That's why it is called as dry ice. Okay. And
Yes.
it will be directly converted into gaseous state. Now see here, solid carbon dioxide. When it is getting converted into its vapor state, how it is going to convert it into a vapor state? It will take heat from the surrounding. It is going to take the heat from the surrounding. It means surrounding will be cooled. Surrounding will get cooled. So see here, solid CO2, it's a dry ice. It's cooled at very low temperature. So what will happen? If we place the solid carbon dioxide here, that is, we place the dry ice here, what will happen? It will convert into vapor state. And how it is going to convert into vapor state? It will take heat from the surrounding. It will absorb heat from the surrounding. So surrounding temperature will decrease. Surrounding will get cooled. So that's why this dry ice is used in transportation. This dry ice is used in transportation. So for example, we are having a truck. Okay. Now we have to transport perishable items like fish, meat, or fruits and vegetables. Over a long distance, over a very long distance, we have to transport fish, meat, fruits, vegetables. So these are perishable items. That is, after some time they used to degrade, they used to decompose. So you know the refrigerator, how it works. Lower the temperature, very less will be bacterial growth, or decomposition is reduced. It slowly decomposes. So to make the temperature low here, what we can do, there are two ways. Either we install AC or refrigerator. That will be very costly. So what is the second method? We'll take solid carbon dioxide, dry ice we'll put along with this material. We'll put dry ice in truck. Dry ice as well we put. Now this dry ice within the truck, what it will do? It will take away the heat from the surrounding and it will cool these items, fish, meat, and so their decomposition is reduced. Okay. So we can preserve them. So dry ice is used as refrigerant. Dry ice is used as refrigerant during transportation of perishable food items such as meat products, fish, fruits, vegetables, etc. Understood this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see here the solids which undergo sublimation. They are called as sublimate. Okay. The solids which undergo sublimation, they are called as sublimate. Whereas the gaseous state, it is called as sublime. It is called as sublime. Okay. So during sublimation, some heat is absorbed by the solid. That heat is called as latent heat of sublimation. And it gets converted into gaseous state. Okay. Now reversal of this one. Okay. Solid to gas, it is called as sublimation. Gas to solid, it is called as deposition. Solid to gas, it is called as sublimation. Gas to solid, it is called as deposition. That is, gas get deposited. Gas get deposited. Okay. This is called as deposition or desublimation. It is also called as desublimation. So deposition is the process of direct conversion of a substance from its gaseous state to its solid state. So the substances which undergo sublimation, they as well go deposition. Okay. They will be going deposition only. Okay. Now see what will happen. This gaseous state, if it releases heat to the surrounding, it will get converted into solid. and here we will take one activity. So what we are going to do? We are going to take ammonium chloride. Ammonium chloride. So we take it in the china clay. Okay, china dish. We have taken one china dish. Okay, in this we have poured crystals of ammonium chloride, and we have made it its powder. Its powder we have taken. Okay, now we have placed it in on a wire mesh. Again, same way, burner, tripod stand, and this time we have taken one funnel. Funnel, you all know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we inverted the funnel. We inverted the funnel over the china dish. Okay, and on its mouth we have inserted some cotton. Okay, please mute yourself. Okay, so now see here, as we start to heat it, as we provide heat, this ammonium chloride will gain the heat, and its vapor will start to rise. Its vapor starts to rise, and these vapors you will see that they are getting deposited on the sides of the funnel. See here what happens. Ammonium chloride takes heat. Ammonium chloride takes heat from the burner, and it gets converted into gaseous state. That is, sublimation is taking place. Whereas the sides of the funnel, they are cooled, and here it gets deposited. That is, to the funnel wall, the heat is transferred from gaseous state, and ammonium chloride. You can see the droplets of ammonium. That is ammonium chloride deposited here. So you can see the sublimation process as well as the deposition process. You can see the deposition process as well. Sublimation is clear.
Yes.
Sublimation
Yes.
and deposition is clear. Okay, we'll discuss the question answers one. So first four we have discussed, fifth we have discussed, sixth we have discussed, seventh. Say to show the liquid
Sir,
we have
we
discussed.
discussed till 8th.
Eighth we have discussed. Okay, kinetic theory we haven't discussed, so we'll be discussing them afterwards. Okay, question answers. Okay, ninth, for time being, leave ninth. Explain the terms boiling and boiling point that you can do. Boiling and boiling point. See here on page number 22, wrapping it up. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th. 11th point. The process of change from liquid state to gaseous state at a fixed temperature is called as boiling point or vaporization. The fixed temperature where the boiling liquid boils is called as boiling point. Or you can do it from page number 14. On page number 14, answer is given on page number 14 as well. The process in which substance in liquid state on heating changes to vapor state at a fixed temperature is called vaporization or boiling. The temperature, the fixed temperature at which liquid boils at a standard atmospheric pressure is called as boiling point or vaporization point. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Rest we'll discuss afterwards. Okay. So dry ice,
Sir, say
we have already discussed. Any doubt you have, you can ask.
Sir, can you say again?
Okay, boiling point. Okay, boiling point. See here, wrapping it up on page number 22. Wrapping it up. 11th point. The process of change of liquid state to gaseous state, that you can write, or from page number 14 as well. You can find the answer, vaporization or boiling. Okay. Okay, so we end here. Thank you all.